Generator started. All stations requesting fire on the designated target. Fighter airborne. Smoke screen set. I need support. Get back! Fighter destroyed. Smoke generator started. Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes astern.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Good to talk to all. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And today we are doing a review of Tier 10 Italian cruiser Napoli. And wow, I'm actually going to say this is a pretty entertaining vessel to play, and I actually really enjoyed her. In case you guys want the too long didn't watch video kind of summary. Now, Napoli is going to be available for coal and doubloons, and I do hope some of you guys have coal handy. So I'm going to go through the ship quickly in the port view, point out a couple of important things, and then of course show you a battle where I really highlight what Napoli is capable of. So first things first, let's take a look at her armor. Napoli is a pretty durable cruiser when coming towards you. So if you're pushing into things, you're pretty durable. So the reason for that is, yes, you do have a 25mm upper bow that is vulnerable. However, 60mm ice-breaking plate here, so Y-angled, that'll bounce shells. Upper belt case-made armor, also 60mm, so again, when angled, that will be a very nice bounce surface. Main deck is 40mm, also very, very solid there, and the main armor belt thickness of 220mm. On top of that, if you take away this, you'll also notice that Napoli has a 30mm turtleback right here, as well as her actual citadel protection underwater of 55mm as well. So when angled and pushing, Napoli is quite durable, although of course she can still get overmatched in the bow if people know where to shoot. So that is very significant because you'll see Napoli's role in a second and you understand why this matters. From the rear, however, Napoli is a little bit on the soft end. The armor belt and ice-breaking plate, sort of thing doesn't really extend very far aft except for this little piece here. And in this little spot where there's, just the normal 25mm that you can get overmatched from, that can lead to Citadel hits, right? Because the Citadel armor down here, 120, over here is only 25, so the shells really plunge down. They can hurt you, right? But with Napoli, you're going to be spending more time timing perfect pushes because you'll see what this cruiser is all about. HP pool, if you have the survivability expert skill, 63,700, which is okay. It's, pretty solid for a tier 10 cruiser. Torpedo damage reduction, 22%. For her main armament, unlike other Italian cruisers, Napoli is armed with 9 254mm guns with HE and AP instead of SAP because they've actually moved the SAP to her secondaries, and that's one of the things that is going to make Napoli very, very fun to play. Main battery reload time of 17 seconds, so, a little bit on the slow end, not super fast there. But all in all, good ballistics, 945 meters per second on the AP, 954 meters on the HE. I believe an air drag value of like 0.277, if I can pull that off the top of my head. Her shells are going to have some pretty solid ballistics. With the HE, you're going to be able to pen 42mm and 18% chance of fire, so that's pretty solid for a cruiser HE. The AP also has some pretty good penetration as well, so don't be afraid to use it if you have full broadside targets. All in all, main battery, obviously the reload is a little long and everything, but they're perfectly usable. But the real fun aspects of Napoli is this. The 9.2 kilometer secondaries that fire, guess what? SAP. And these are the things that you can have a lot of fun with. So the 90mm ones, they obviously being very, very small guns, they have sort of more lofty sort of arcs. And you'll look at that and you'll say, oh, okay, they're kind of lofty. The SAP penetration is only 26, and these things are probably pretty useless. But when you think about the way their arcs work, a lot of the hits are going to land superstructure. So 26 for superstructure, perfectly good. While the 152s, they have much better ballistics, and of course they can also pen quite a bit more, 42. The combination of these two secondaries at 9.2 kilometers means that, you're going to land some pretty nice damage there with the SAP. Main battery fire range, of course, is a little bit short at 16.3, but you'll see, like I said, being a secondary-oriented cruiser, you're really going to be trying to find the perfect spots to push in quite aggressively. Sansonetti will be sort of very useful if you can proc his skills, and that will help with the range. Now, Napoli does have torpedoes. She's got 2 sets of quad torpedoes over here at the rear of the ship. Pretty decent arcs, 13.5 kilometer range. Of course, typical Italian torpedoes are a bit of a sea mine. But if you're trying to kite away from stuff, you know, dropping these torpedoes in the pathway of pushing enemy ships can lead to some surprising torpedo hits. And the torpedoes, in terms of damage, they're not amazing, but hey, torpedo hits are torpedo hits, and they hurt. A defense is the one sort of major shortcoming of Napoli. 4.6 kilometer firing range means that CB players that drop fighters to keep you spotted, you're not really going to be able to shoot those fighters down unless you get kind of real up close and personal. So that is one of the things that she's not super good at. So, you know, kind of a negative, but again, you know, that's not really her shtick, right? Like a lot of other Italian ships. Maximum speed, 37.3 knots. Oh, yeah, with the speed flag, she is fast, and that speed is going to come in really, really useful as you're trying to close the range in order to get into secondary range. Turning circle radius is 750 meters, rudder shift time of 10 seconds. Yeah, I know it's not like super maneuverable on paper, but in-game I had no issues with her. The concealment, again, you'll notice, fully spec for concealment, 10.3 kilometers. This allows you to pretty much get spotted, and from that to your secondary distance, not too much distance to close, especially with your speed. Furthermore, you also have Italian fuel smoke, where if you fully spec it, you know, with the flag and everything, you can get that smoke up to, you know, close to a minute, right? So that's a lot of exhaust fuel smoke that you can use to close distances and let your secondaries go to town on people. The Napoli also comes with a fighter, and it comes with a repair party, although the repair party's reload time isn't always all that great. Sometimes you wish it would cool down a little bit faster, but yeah, you'll see how this ship works in battle. In terms of your captain skills, unfortunately, we don't really have secondary skills for the captain for cruisers. I wish they did. I think it would add a lot more fun things to do with this ship, but also understandable because it also makes it kind of OP. I sort of went with this build where I got gun feeder, which is quite useful. It's accident because it's 75% time to reduce to switch shells. Sorry. The consumable enhancement, 10% for that fuel smoke, very useful. Adrenaline rush is good. Extra charges of heal smoke, that's all super useful. Getting the survivability expert skill is going to increase the amount of HP you can heal. That's also quite good, especially because, you know, increasing the HP pool is always good for a cruiser. Concealment expert, obviously, to get you down to that nice magical 10.3 kilometer surface detect. And top grade gunner, because, you know, your real thing is getting up close and personal with people. So the secondary battery reload time reduction and the main battery reload time reduction is going to be quite helpful. Now, in terms of your modules, I actually do recommend focusing more on secondaries. So secondary battery mod 1, and also getting something like even auxiliary armaments mod 2 for that extra 20% reduction to reload time. Because when you do get into range, you really want your secondaries to do work. So let me show you what this ship does in battle, and you'll probably understand why I'm actually so excited about having this ship in the game. So here we go with the Napoli on Sleeping Giant, and we spawn north, me and my division mate who is playing Ashima, and of course I am going to head towards the A-cap, because A-cap has some pretty good cover for me to get close and maybe utilize those secondaries. First enemy target that pops up that I can shoot at is the Worcester. As you can see, sub 7-second shell flight time to about 14 kilometers. Napoli's ballistics are quite darn good. Although I probably should have stuck with HE and just shot HE, because the Worcester most likely was going to turn in like that. But that is okay. This is early on in the game. Not a lot has happened yet. Can't really shoot the Iowa there. See if I can get another AP salvo in on the Iowa. Probably do some damage. Again, with the Iowa, I do have to aim a little bit higher, try to hit the upper belt instead of the main armor belt, because I don't have that level of penetration. Okay, there we go. Going for the upper belt shot. I will also turned in. Oh, bummer. A little bit of damage there from the overpen and the penetration. Alright, waiting for the good opportunity. Initially, I was thinking the Iowa might have turned in here and decided to actually go bow in. Instead, the Iowa decides to do a full turn. I really should have swapped over to AP here and taken a shot. Instead, unfortunately, I didn't do that because I was watching my SAP secondaries go off and go, ooh, I can actually hit the Worcester. Got a little distracted there. So, HE salvo away. Could have gone for an AP salvo for better damage, but that's okay. Got a fire, got some damage. pretty good. SAP already starting to rain down on this Worcester here. All right. I was actually not too far away from me. I have a smoke activated. I'm hoping what I can do here is that the Iowa might stop in order to try to, sort of kite tank, sort of kite away and then tank some shells or whatever for his team. And hoping he was going to stay stationary and I was going to be able to get some SAP secondary action on this Iowa. Fortunately, I got a little bit too close to the Worcester and the SAPs are no longer going in that direction. Bummer. Would have been cool to have secondaries on both sides sort of just ripping into 2 targets. That would have been quite fun. Alright, so early on in the game, about 20k damage. Not too bad so far. Could have done better. There we go. Soft nose. So, of course, if a battleship shoots you there, they can actually overmatch that particular piece of armor and do some damage. But it's a small kind of bit of your ship, and the damage does actually saturate reasonably quickly. So there is a pretty fast damage reduction there after a few hits. Alright, Worcester... Is he going to come out or is he just going to stand there? He's going to stand there. I was hoping he was going to come out, because he's kind of in a bad position. He's going to die anyways. So if he came out and, got his last little bit of damage, I might have been able to get a little bit more there. Enemy Harlem decides he is going to try an airstrike on me. And this airstrike actually does catch me because I was stationary. But as you can see, not too bad there. And a lot of damage being dealt to me. So all is good. I'm going to push in here, see if I can get rid of this Worcester so we can actually make a good push. And there we go. I get a little bit of a KS in there. Surprise enemy Baltimore. Okay, this was unexpected. I didn't really expect the Baltimore to be there. So, angle in. I do have a turtle back, so chance of him citadeling me not super high. Fire return salvo. I get some citadels. Also, he's in perfect range for SAP, and his armor is pretty thin, so my SAP begins to do work. Starts sort of chewing that Baltimore a new one, but my main guns reload just in time for me to do that, and I blapped that Baltimore quite early on in this game. So all is good. I am actually going to move straight into this cap. The enemy Asashio has, I guess, moved off at this particular point in time, so cap is going to be mine. I am wary of rushing out on the other side because that's usually not the world's best idea when there's Iowa over there. And also there's a Shikishima closer to the original C cap for the enemy. So, yeah, not really going to go and probably chance that fight. Going to pick a better moment. And Napoli is really about picking your moments. You have a good moment. You make a good push, and the enemy is going to take quite a bit of damage from you. You do a bad push at the wrong time, and, well, you're not as effective. So timing with Napoli, and that's with a lot of other secondary ships, is very, very essential. Now, of course, remember, because these are SAP secondaries, you're not really going to get fires or anything like that. So, it's pretty much just penetration damage that you're going after. Okay, so enemy... Ooh, okay. That came from, I believe, the enemy Talon, who is currently hiding over there behind an island, so don't really have a lot of vision on him. He got some vision from the enemy airplane, so that actually is why he was able to shoot me here. Alright, again, seeing the Shikishima, very full HP, and where the Iowa is, not too keen on going out there and fighting the two of them. So, gonna try to turn back around here. Okay, so Talon does get a nice little salvo on me, but again, nothing super heavy. The turtleback, once again, preventing any citadels from that Talon. A good hit, therefore. Actually, no, not a good hit. Sorry, my bad. A couple of over penetrations. I thought I actually aimed a little bit better on that salvo, but guess not. And see if we can get another salvo there. Okay. Got a couple, actually got 7 over penetrations. That's some damage there. And, of course, another airstrike inbound. But I'm not too worried because I'm already maneuvering, and I don't think that airstrike is going to land very... Yep, there we go. Total miss. Good. Again, not too keen on fighting a Shikishima Iowa in the positions that those two BBs are in right now. So I decide I'm going to go take one extra loop around the cap and then exit when the situation is better. I do believe those torpedoes are heading towards that Iowa from the Shimakaze. And the Iowa should be going down here in... a few more seconds. As soon as the Iowa is gone, I'm going to be able to make another move. There we go. Iowa going down. Harlem is behind the island in the sea cap, so I believe this is my opportunity to make another push. And with Napoli, once again, and I'm going to have to say this, I'm going to sound like an old broken record, you got to time your pushes. You have that perfectly timed push, you're going to have a good time. If you just YOLO in, you're probably going to die miserably. it's very, very similar in concept to a lot of the other secondary battleships in the game, like Georgia, a lot of the German secondary battleships. Timing is key when you're playing these ships, right? Okay, so
Hey guys, Foundboy61, and today we have a review of the all-new Tier 7 campaign ship, the Sommers, the American destroyer that's essentially a Shimakaze. Now on PC, the Sommers is a Tier 10 ship. They've managed to shrink it down to Tier 7, and let me tell you, it is a wonderful destroyer. It is one that provides such joy and happiness and just fun overall, and a reason to bring out that
Hey, what's going on everyone? No Zoop for you here with some gameplay provided by Lowizzle. And he is in the USS Summers. This is a round of ranked, and this is a ranked review of the Summers. And not only is it a ranked review, it's a chance for me once again to tell you that if you don't have the Summers right now, and you are accruing steel, you need to get the Summers before it goes away. That is the one steel ship right now that you should be setting your sights on. Especially if you're a DD main. The Summers, in my opinion, is one of the best tier 10 destroyers. If not, well, I'm not going to say it's the best, but it is definitely up there. I absolutely love this ship. I know a lot of players that love this ship. A lot of players that do very well in this ship. I do very well in this ship, though. I attempted to get some footage of it the other night, and not ranked gameplay, but I was streaming, and lo and behold, I wound up in a round, and Notzer was on my team. So, you know, instantly everybody's like, "Oh, instant win," and I had the perfect setup. I had 3 battleships in my sights. I had a Yamato. I had everything else as Lowizzle starts getting his first hits of the day with torpedoes. I mean, I had the perfect setup. It was a turkey shoot. And then out of absolutely nowhere, super fast torpedoes came towards me, and it turned out a Holland had been stalking me that I didn't know about. And I ate, I think, 2 of his torps. And fortunately, you know, Holland torps aren't going to take you out in the Summers if only 2 hit you. It takes 3. But after that, that's all their aircraft carrier needed to know where I was, and that was that. And it was a very upsetting round. But I digress. I'm getting into something unrelated to this and this wonderful gameplay provided by Lowizzle. And you know, it's always nice when you all provide me with videos of extremely good gameplay, because I can feature that instead of my gameplay. And I like showing what you all do and what you all are capable of in these ships, and I'm sure other players appreciate it as well, because, you know, I can always cherry pick my best games and ignore my worst games, which, you know, happen every now and then. But when I get your videos, it gives me the opportunity to provide something that players can say, okay, all right, there's other guys out there. There aren't CCs that are doing really good in this ship. But you all know that. You do. So, Loizzle already has a solo cap. He's got what I had the other night, and he's actually going to do the right things, and he's going to make the best use of the situation. Montana and Musashi out there slowing down. He's got his torps up again, and this is why I love the Summers. The Summers just has very devastating fast reloading torpedoes that have great range, decent speed, and in a ranked setting, this is a great ship for area denial. It really is. But not only that, it's a great ship for many things. It's a great ship for capping. I mean, you got 5.8 concealment, though it's not as good as something like a Shimakaze. It's still very, very low. So you can outspot most other destroyers. And there's 2, 4, 5 hits right there on that Montana. And he's already got 74,000 damage. Poor Montana right here is flooding. He hit his damage control already. And he's probably regretting life right now. He's not doing that well. And you notice right now that Loizzle is staying away from that Des Moines over on his flank in B. He knows not to go near it. And there goes the Montana. Down it goes. And he's got his first kill of the game. And he is, and if you've noticed, his team wasn't doing that great. They're losing in points. They were losing in ships. And while sinking one Montana does help, it doesn't get them near to where they need to be. I mean, right now, they're down 2 destroyers. The other team still has 3. That's a huge threat right there. That's not good. So, I think what Loizzle is going to do right now is just focus on these capital ships, which is what he needs to do. His torps are back up again. I feel like he just fired them. Again, one of the great things about the Summers. I mean, this in many ways really is a USN Shimakaze. And in many ways, I think the Summers is better than the Shimakaze. I mean, your torps reload a lot faster, though they don't cause quite as much damage. I mean, does that really matter? You know, what's the difference of a couple thousand hit points? So he's already up to 95,000 damage. He's still very close to this Musashi. I mean, he's in perfect position right now. There's another Montana out there. Now, there are torps coming from his rear, so it would appear that a destroyer has backflanked. There goes the Des Moines right there, which is good. That helps the situation a little more. Now, I do want to touch on the guns of the Summers, because I really haven't yet. And these torps look good right here. Well, he's gonna get some more damage right here. He's gonna get at least 2, maybe 3. And boop. Boop. Yeah, he got 3 right there, and a flood. And he's got his sights on this Montana right now and moving in on B. He knows now that that Des Moines is gone. He can cruise right in there, which is what he's going to do. So the guns on the Summers, I feel, are decent. They're not, you know, gunboat great, but they do cause damage. They are pretty strong. They're slower reloading than something like a Gearing, but a ship will think twice. Oh, this is looking good right here. Look at this. 5 clicks away. His torps are up in 8 seconds. 5. And there's those guns going off. Against the Haragumo. Decent damage right there. He's going to fire in the same position because the Haragumo likely hasn't moved. And there he is. He's going to focus on him and try and get him. And with that, he's going to get another kill. And he might even get another one right here if things work out.
I need your support. All forces, capture that area. Roger. Engine boost activated. All stations requesting fire on the designated target. All stations reporting the position of a strategic target. Engine boost deactivated. All stations concentrate fire on the target. Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
All stations concentrate fire on the target. Engine boost activated. Torpedoes to port. Engine boost deactivated.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
The enemy is about to win. Enemy cruiser detected. The enemy team has taken the lead.
Smoke generator started. Engine boost activated. Smoke screen